The economic data from the tax department tells a very clear story, and one that should be at the forefront of our minds as the session continues. Vermonters are hurting. We need jobs. We need to stimulate our economy and put people back to work as soon as possible. So I'm going to talk here about the last two parts of our economic package and then economic recovery package, and we'll be happy to take questions. Others may have comments. The first one may surprise you, except that Anthony alluded to it, and that is expanding the bottle bill. It's been introduced in both the House H-74 and the Senate S-21. These bills go beyond just improving our recycling. According to the Sierra Club, expansion of the bottle bill in Michigan was responsible for creating over 4,000 jobs. Bottle bills consistently generate more jobs than straight disposal into the waste stream. This bill can be quickly implemented and will create jobs in Vermont. But that's not all. The bottle bill we're supporting also makes a change in policy about unclaimed deposits. When I buy a Coca-Cola today and that bottle doesn't get redeemed, we let Coca-Cola keep the nickel. The bills that we're supporting shift that money from Coca-Cola back to the state. Nickels add up, and if we expand the bottles covered by the deposit law, we anticipate unclaimed nickels would grow. Currently, the estimates range between $2 to $3 million of our nickels are being held by Coca-Colas and other distributors. Coca-Cola doesn't need that money. This is money Vermonters are already spending, and we should reclaim it at the same time to boost our recycling. The last part of our package is an income tax surcharge, which I have introduced today, co-sponsored by many of my colleagues in the Democratic Party. I want to just show you this. Take a look at what the last decade has been like for most of us. The middle class has seen our wages inch forward at the most. People earning below $30,000 a year have seen wages shrink. As we all know what's happened to the cost of living since 2000, the cost of health care alone has more than doubled, say nothing of gas prices, home heating, food, and so on. While most of us have been struggling to make do with less, the wealthiest Vermonters have seen their income grow at unbelievable rates. A fortunate middle-class family had income growth of about 7%. The average person making over $200,000 in 2002 saw income climb more than 50% by 2009. I think it's fair to say most of us would love to have a 50% raise every decade. And it is exactly the people on top that Washington, in its infinite wisdom, decided to deserve a tax cut extension. The president was very clear that he wanted to repeal the tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans when he ran and won his historic election. Closer to home, opinion polls show Vermonters agree with our congressional delegation, who say the wealthy can afford to pay more of taxes. Of course, we all know how that worked out, despite heroic efforts on behalf of working Vermonters in Washington. According to the Public Assets Institute, the wealthiest 5% of Vermonters will save an estimated $190 million this year, thanks to the extension. The last part of our recovery package asks these Vermonters to give less than 10% of these savings back to the state. By adding surcharges to the income tax on the top two tiers, we can raise nearly $17 million. We do this by adding 1% to the second highest tier and 1.5% to the top tier. Let me be clear. This would have zero impact on any individual earning under $171,000 or a couple earning less than $209,000. They would see zero impact on their tax bill. When we consider the budget cuts over the last few years and the impact it's brought to human services and other critical roles in state government, it's clear we must find an alternative to more cuts. We have support from many Democrats, and we are here today asking our colleagues to raise revenue so we can begin to invest in prevention programs, restore proposed cuts to mental health, help people with developmental disabilities, weatherization, on and on. Too many Vermonters are struggling to find work. Too many Vermonters have seen their incomes decline, and these are the people we seek to help. Vermonters are especially dependent on state programs during tough economic economy and will preserve services that serve low-income Vermonters. Perhaps most importantly, these changes will have an impact immediately. People who are hurting cannot wait until 2014 to see the economic stimulus that broadband promises. They cannot wait to feel the budgetary relief that single-payer health care will bring. We have an obligation to pursue these long-term goals, and they are very important. But we must also take steps that people will feel this year, and that's what we believe our package will deliver. Thank you very much. Senator McCormick.